this is Tennessee's biggest basketball game in its athletic history. I think the fact that you have an opportunity to go to the Elite Eight, which would match the deepest run, which Tennessee has done twice in the NCAA tournament, and beat a rival makes it that much more special. So, Caleb, you agreed with that, correct?
Yes, I did agree with that it's the biggest basketball game in history. And I think we both agree if they win, it's going to be the biggest win in school history. Like,
Yes.
That's not even a question.
Yes. Well, I guess maybe I misphrased that a little bit. So your next step into journalism and broadcast is, you said this morning, have there been any Tennessee football games against Kentucky that had the same magnitude as the Sweet 16 game? So initially my response was absolutely not, because I think this is the biggest game in Tennessee basketball history. If they win it, it will be the biggest win in Tennessee basketball history. So obviously, I don't think so. And Kentucky has been a team that Tennessee has basically just destroyed for the vast majority of both our lives, Caleb. So I'm curious what you can come up with here, as we'll go ahead and dive into four downs. First down will be brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design. They want to be your jeweler looking for affordable game day jewelry, a Tennessee tradition. RickTerryJewelry.com. Cooper Mays, sir, what should people do if they want to be a part of the program?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe. Coop here. First down.
All right. The first game you have is what, 2007?
Yes. So in 2007, Tennessee football played Kentucky on the road. This was when Kentucky had Andre Woodson, and they played them for a chance to win the East and go to Atlanta. Now, Kentucky wasn't playing to win the East, so the magnitude, you could say, wasn't exactly the same. But Dave, if you forget, Kentucky was 7-4 at the time. Maybe they were 8-3. I think they were 8-3, and they were favored in that game. They were favored against Tennessee, and Tennessee needed 4 overtimes to beat them that day. That was when Eric Ainge set a school record for 7 touchdown passes. I don't think touchdown passes in college overtime should count, but that's my own theory. But still, he did throw 7 touchdown passes, and that game was legendary for so many reasons. But the magnitude of it was huge, because you're Tennessee, you're an underdog in this game, and you got to win it to go to Atlanta to play for the SEC championship. I think that kind of rivals the Sweet 16 game.
That's fair. I can take that one. I'm interested to see where you go with the remainders.
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Sounds so mean. 1976.
Yes, and this is right before Bill Battle got fired, funny enough. But Tennessee was, I'm pulling up the numbers now. Tennessee was 5-4. They were still trying to play to go to a bowl game and be bowl eligible. Kentucky, meanwhile, was 8-3. Was 7-3, 6-3. Excuse me. They were playing 7-3. Yeah, they were 7-3. They were playing to win their first SEC championship in 26 years and only their second in school history. Kentucky won that one 7-0. That clinched them a share of the SEC title. It's one of their only 2 SEC championships that they've ever won.
Yeah, and let's face it, the world is not right when Kentucky's winning an SEC championship. Can we all agree on that one?
Yes, but that's pretty impressive that they won it.
It is impressive. It's also bizarre. You wouldn't imagine them ever winning something like that. But
that was when Garrett Bryant was in his heyday at Alabama. That's the craziest part.
Yeah. All right. So we've got, what's next? What down, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
What's third down, Caleb?
All right. I'm going way back in history, guys. 1929 and 1931. These are 2 brutal ones for Tennessee. Basically, in both instances, Tennessee entered the final week of the regular season perfect, 8-0. And they were playing to win the Southern Conference title outright under Robert Nealon with Gene McKeever as their star. Kentucky was playing to finish with a winning record in both instances. And it was at Kentucky both times, and both times Kentucky tied Tennessee. So in both instances, Tennessee finished 9-0-1. And that the 31 loss cost Tennessee a trip to the Rose Bowl. Or not, the 31 tie, excuse me.
Third down brought to you by Sports Treasures, carrying over 5 million sports treasures and so much more. Follow on Facebook for the best sports memorabilia, daily updates. Follow them below. Go to facebook.com and Sports Treasures TN. Again, Sports Treasures TN. Fourth down.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
Brought to you by Hound Dogs of Knoxville. Champions look good in orange. HDKnoxville.com. HDKnoxville.com. Use the promo code HOOKED promo code Hooked, and their rearranged store, easy to get around and find out exactly what you need on Kingston Pike, hdknoxville.com. Caleb, what is fourth down?
Fourth down is 1950. Now, I want to point out from 1949 to 1951, Kentucky was number 11, number 3, and number 9 when they faced Tennessee, and 50 and 51, Tennessee was number 3 and number 9, respectively. The highest ranked combined game between Tennessee and Kentucky was 1951. Tennessee was first, Kentucky was 9th, but Kentucky was 7 and 3 at the time and should not have been ranked at 51. So I'm throwing that one out. So I'm going to 1950. Tennessee was 9th. Kentucky was 3rd. Kentucky was perfect, undefeated, playing for a national title. Tennessee was 9 and 1. This is the best team Bear Bryant ever had. It's the best team Kentucky football ever had. I've told you guys the story before. Tennessee's going to play Kentucky. They're hosting Kentucky. And the week of the game, the Great Appalachian Storm in 1950 hits. A massive blizzard strikes the stadium. Tennessee fans refuse to shovel the field because they want to create as much chaos for Kentucky as possible, knowing Kentucky's the better team. Because of that, Dave, there were 17 fumbles in the game. 17 lost fumbles. Tennessee wins that game 7-0. That ends up propelling
17 lost fumbles or 17 fumbles?
17 lost fumbles.
Good Lord. How many fumbles were there? Surely they didn't recover every single one.
No, they were lost fumbles. Yeah, no, Kentucky.
But how many fumbles were there total?
17. Oh, total. I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, there had to be more fumbles than the 17 that were recovered by the opposite team.
Well, the blizzard was it was bad. It's the worst blizzard in Tennessee history, 1950. And Tennessee won 7-0 because of that craziness when everybody knew Kentucky was the better team. Tennessee is now able to declare 1950 as a national champion. But because Kentucky played one more SEC game, they claimed the SEC championship, and then they went to the Sugar Bowl to beat Oklahoma. So Kentucky also claims a national championship from 1950. That's the biggest game in the history of Tennessee-Kentucky in any sport, Tennessee football versus Kentucky in 1950. And it really led to, I don't know if you guys know this stat, but Bear Bryant never beat Robert Nealon, ever.
No.
And
now, let me ask you this. What year did you say the biggest snowstorm in Kentucky, Tennessee football history?
1950, that game, 1950.
1950? Take that, global warming nuts.
That's hot.